Hello and welcome to the podcast. I am so excited. This is the first episode that we're bringing to you, and I couldn't be happier to feature this lovely couple that we have. It's Mandy and Rolly Heath, and I met them last year out at the Big Red Bash on the way out when I was going out in convoy with the MDC Owners group and some of the team. They're just the nicest, most humblest people you're ever going to meet, and they're very active members in the MDC OFFGRID Owners group, which runs on Facebook, and I really hope that you are a member of that. It's 20,000 strong and growing. It's run by an amazing guy called Daniel Easton, who I'm also going to intro to you in this podcast episode. I thought it was so appropriate with the first episode of the podcast that we would actually feature some of our beautiful members and customers, people that actually love, breathe and eat the MDC brand, but have their own vans. Daniel, I think, is in his third caravan. Mandy and Rolly about to upgrade to their third caravan. Like, they're true believers in what the business and the company does. But they also make incredible recommendations as well to the company. And that's what is so important about being part of these groups, is that you can have your say. And so that is one reason why we're bringing this podcast to you, is so you get to meet the people who are really invested in what the MDC company does, help us bring a better brand and a better experience to you guys. So you don't need to hear me ramble on too much. I can't wait to introduce you to these two. We're sitting, just for authenticity's sake, we're sitting at a pub in Laura after having just come out of Cape York, which was my first time being up there. I think they've been up there a few times before. They were the most amazing tour guides for me. We went in convoy because I was a little bit concerned about doing it solo by myself. And Daniel, that interview comes to you from a little town called Baduri, which is just a couple of 100 Ks outside of Birdsville when we'd wrapped up the Big Red Bash and everyone was heading back to where we come from. So hope you enjoy the episode. Please like it, share, comment, send us feedback, whatever you want to do. This podcast is for you. It's nothing without your feedback and nothing without your participation. So can't wait to hear what you think of it. And I really hope you enjoy the stories that we're going to be sharing with you in the future.
Oh, so I'm a little bit somber. Rolly doesn't look somber at all.
I'm at a pub, I've got beer.
He's got a beer, he's happy.
This is, if you haven't cottoned on yet, this is Mandy and Rolly, and they are my best friends, like my brother and sister, honestly. And we're sitting here at Lakeland Pub, and we've come out of the Cape, and oh my God, they got me there.
We survived.
Yeah, you survived. He was like our tour guide. So we had another couple that were with us, and they're gone now. So just a little MDC crew is left, and we thought we would just have a chat about the experience and about our MDC vans.
Yep.
And have a laugh. You can poke fun at me if you like. It's all good.
So yeah, this friendship this started at Big Red Bash in the MDC paddock. We met you. Well, we met you before the paddock. We actually, we kind of rescued you because you just came in on your little lonesome.
What was the name of that camp?
Into the
Bollen Creek.
Yeah, Bollen. Yeah. And here comes Mel, and we knew she was driving with the little XT10E, which you can see in the background there. And she came in, and I'm like, oh, here she is. This is this Melissa lady we've heard all about. And I waved her down, and she came in, and she's looking for everybody else, and you beat them there.
I know, by an hour and a half. I thought it was kind of a theme for the rest of the trip, actually. But I like to get to a destination, whereas the other guys,
waiting, like,
dick around.
Get shit together and let's go.
I know, and I told these guys, we came in and we chitty chat, and I'd only just got in the van, I was setting it up, and I was chatting, and I said, I'm going to do Cape York next, and Mandy so beautifully identified that could be an issue on my own.
We've done it before with our three boys in 2015. Yes, I always say 14, but it was 2015. We actually did the full thing, like the telly track and everything. And when Melissa said she was going to go up there by herself, I was like, you probably would have done it. I reckon you would have done it.
With now having done it, I could have done it, but
everyone's so friendly out there.
But I wouldn't have done it because hindsight's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do it easily. Yeah, actually easily, but the amount of confidence you need, what I found my biggest challenge, and that's why I loved following you guys, was just choosing the path and choosing when to stay on the road, choosing the speed for the corrugations, choosing when to go down into the table drain, choosing knowing where to pull up. Like, I would have had to have done so much more research, which I didn't have time for. And you were just like the perfect tour guide, and you were too, Mandy. And so it was. Now I could go back and do it in a heartbeat.
You just got to have that confidence and back yourself. And
how was that incident where we had to pull that? Well, you guys pulled that guy. I mean, there was a guy up on an embankment. That was like day 3 or day 2 or something of us driving.
And
up
he was
there.
from up there, so he knew.
And he worked up there.
Were horrendous. I think it was just in work mode. And big hurry. And speed was a huge factor of that one. And he's just skidded around because that's what corrugations will do. One minute you're in a rut, and the next minute you're on top, and you're just skipping across like a stone, and you could end up anywhere.
Yeah, literally.
And he did.
And he was very lucky because it was a steep embankment. Like, he could have hit that side on and would have rolled.
Yeah, there was
or if there was a tree there.
He was lucky he hit it
straight between
on.
those 2 trees. It was quite neat.
I know. So when I sort of saw that, I was like, wow, you know, stupid, but you know, human error. Like, it just happens in a split second. So tell us a bit about who you guys are, because you've got your beautiful shirts on. Your memory's not money. So tell us a bit about your YouTube channel and how that evolved. Yeah.
It's not much of a YouTube channel, but we.
Oh my gosh, Rolly.
We started. Well, when we did Cape York on our way home, we were somewhere. I'm saying Rollston, somewhere we were camping. It was our last night camping. It was just us.
2015?
Yep, it was just us. And we come up with this motto, is like life's about making memories, not money, more so. So after that moment, we came home and that was our thing. So then we've been talking about for years that we're going to do a lap around Australia. Drive everyone crazy. Like, we're going to do a lap, we're going to do a lap, we're going to do a lap.
Everyone thought we were
Anyway, the next year my sister got married in Cairns, so we decided we'll do a big trip with that. Drove up from Chinchilla, our hometown at the time, to Cairns, did the Savannah Way, crossed to Normanton, then up to Currumbah, down through Lawnhill Gorge, then went to Winton. And then when we got to Winton, the skies opened up on us. And
right on that riverbank.
And rained. We camped on
Ever been to Winton? You know the mud just sticks.
Yeah.
Like, it just sticks. And
so we camped on the riverbank there, or the creek bank, and it was raining all night. And I said to Mandy, we've got to get out of here. So it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. We got up. I carried each of the boys to the car, put them in the car. Mandy and I packed the camper up under a tarp, got it all packed up, and then went into town, washed everything off, had a feed for breakfast. And
we had a big old laugh about it, didn't we? We thought, well, if we can...
We thought we can survive this. That's the worst that's going to ever happen.
We only just got out too. Like, we just got out onto the road from that creek bed. And as we just got out, we watched other people poke their heads out of their vans just waking up, and it was still raining, and they actually had to get winched out.
Oh, my God.
We made the right decision at the right time.
They got the RACQ out there, and they were winching them from the road back out. And we decided that morning we were having breakfast. I think we had ham and cheese toasted sandwiches at the service station in Winton, and probably the worst coffee.
Yeah,
I love after all these years you still remember it was shit coffee.
But yeah, we decided, we just said, full shit, we can do this, let's do it. So we decided then that when we got home, we're going to plan to do the lap the next year. So we had 6 months. So we got home,
our stuff.
We sold what we didn't need. We moved out of our rental house, and we moved in with Mandy's mum and dad to save money. And just anything that we didn't need, we sold. The rest we put in storage, and saved for 6 months, planned it, and then January the next year off we went and did our lap.
And we just had a rough plan. We had a rough plan of what direction we wanted to go in, but we never booked anything because we didn't know where we were going to be from day to day. We just took it as it came.
Yeah.
And just pretty much used Wikicamps to guide our way, didn't we?
And friends, people we met along the way.
People who would suggest things. The few times that we did book a place, it didn't work out for us because we wanted to be like, we'd stay somewhere and we're like, oh, we'd love to stay here for a little while longer because we didn't know how great it was, but we booked here, so we have to keep moving. So then we decided, we won't book anymore.
That's been my bugbear with this trip as well, is the whole planning in advance.
It's hard because you do want to have some kind of a plan so you're not stranded, but really in reality you're never really stranded. You'll find somewhere to camp.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we did that, we started a Facebook page called Memories Not Money, just so our friends and family could see what we were doing along the way.
And I started to share it to like Travelling Australia with Kids page on Facebook. I was sharing a bit of stuff there, and we started to get a bit of a following. And my uncle in Brisbane said, "Oh, you really should start a YouTube channel." But Rolly and I are not very good with technology.
Because this is back in 2017, so this isn't like last week.
This is before everybody was doing it. Like,
I know. So it's quite a.
We actually crossed paths with Trip and a Van at
and they were
Geraldton
very new at doing it.
WA, and they were like, right first.
Yeah.
But we started doing little videos just for our Facebook page and what we were doing just for fun and putting music background to it.
So the Facebook thing really took off, but we've just started our YouTube now, so we're trying to grow it a little bit more. It's not as big as Facebook, but we're getting better.
Yeah, well, because Brandon said you should start a YouTube channel, and Drew actually set it up for us, our eldest boy, set up the channel, but we did nothing for like 2 years because we didn't know what we were doing. And then when we got back after our lap, I've had a bit of a struggle with mental illness problems, and I go see a therapist quite regularly, and she said that you need a creative outlet. So making movies was that, and I just started doing it and put them up there. I don't care if anyone watches them or not. It's just for us.
Well,
and
they're for us,
the boys can look back and see what we've done. And,
but people are watching it. That's the whole point, because we had the experience when I've been hanging out with these guys. We went to Batuta. It was in Batuta and somewhere else when I was with you. It's happened other times too.
Happened at the bash,
and they get recognised. And it's so nice because couples are coming up to them and just sort of saying, "Oh my God, are you Memories Not Money? Mandy, Rolly, oh my God, we love you, and you're the very reason why we're here and why we can."
And that's like perfect, because that's exactly why we put the videos out there. We just want everybody to have a go with what you've got. You don't have to have a fancy setup.
No, we went around Australia with a $6,500 camper trailer. And,
soft floor camper trailer.
From MDC.
And a Hilux that had 290,000 Ks on the top. So,
So what are you in now? Because it's luxurious, I reckon. It's beautiful. I've got you can see the XT10E. I love it. It's just perfect.
So cute.
It's perfect for solo travel, or I've been stopped by couples as well, and you could easily be a couple in there. You obviously aren't. You love the compactness of it, and that's what I love about it, because I can tow it. You've witnessed me tow it everywhere. I've dragged that thing from Brisbane to Birdsville up to Karumba. I know. Across to the Daintree, and then up with you guys up to Cape York and back, and driven it all by myself.
Yes, nobody has given her a break. She drove the whole thing.
I know. You co-piloted one day in the trip out to Birdsville.
And that was fun. Then we got in trouble because we were talking too much and listening to the two-way.
Not taking and eating. We have had a little bit of a eating issues on this trip. That's another story. But what are you guys in now?
We are in the Forbes 13 Plus. It's our second MDC, and we're already toying with the idea of an upgrade. But I'm so happy in the little Forbes 13 Plus. I've got a shower and toilet, which I did not have in the soft floor camper.
For the whole lap.
So I lived in a soft floor camper for 12 months. So this is like a mansion compared to that. I mean, I loved our little trailer too. It was our home. But we're thinking about upgrading, but we're not sure. But we're quite happy in what we're in. It's perfect for the two of us.
Like this trip, it's really showing how good they are, because
we've had no dust, no issues whatsoever.
Come across other people that had issues, and
like not just issues. We're talking about that dude we met at the creek. His whole chassis needed to be re-put back together again on some other
we've had shower doors fall off, microwaves come out. Not us, people that we know. Other vans. There were the horror stories that we've heard.
Dust. And I did a video yesterday just showing the door seals and the seals on the hatches, like where you can see the dust is stopped and stained, and then inside there's nothing.
It's clean.
It's
So
really been good.
Very well designed.
And we haven't gone easy on it because I was in the lead. So some of the bumps and that snuck up.
You copped all of them.
And then I'd radio back to the other two and say, look out for that one.
It was good, I've got to say. So that's probably my tip to people, will ask me about tips about solo travel. So while I can say, I drove it all alone, I did it all alone, there are certain places in Australia, I think if you can be in convoy, I would highly recommend it. And Cape York is one of them.
And communication.
Yeah, so these guys were spotting out the front. Mandy's a magnificent caller on the two-way, and she would just, indicate if what was, because, sometimes sometimes you want to get across onto the right side of the road because there's no corrugations over there, but I can't see behind their dust cloud.
If there's something coming.
But she calls through if something's coming or not coming, and then you can get across. So there's a million reasons why to be in convoy.
Yeah.
But when you're at the front, you guys kind of...
Yeah.
A lot of the decision-making process is made by you.
Yeah.
And that seemed like the people say, "Oh, what side or where do I go down here?" And I'll stay somewhere, and then they will, "No, that's a bad idea." But I've got to wear that, and then we can let you know.
Yeah, don't do what we did. Stay in the table drain.
So,
It's terrible.
Or get out of the table drain.
If you can understand me over the corrugations, like.
You had that fun little adventure getting out of the table drain, didn't you?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was fun.
yeah.
Or not fun.
yeah.
We can laugh about it now.
But the caravan will go. I mean, you're not erratic. You don't do this or
No.
anything. You just got it out of there, and the caravan followed. But
I drive pretty sensibly, I think.
You do.
In them situations, and I'd like to think I'm a little bit experienced, not overly experienced, but I've done a lot of off-road driving and dirt road driving.
over a lifetime.
Yeah, like in our lap we done, I think we worked about just under 16,000 kilometres of dirt road because we didn't want to stay on the main road. So if there's a track off to the side, much to Mandy's.
Some of them were tracks, there's a track. We're following our little dot on HEMA, but it was that grown in.
I remember you telling me you're going in, and
you could hear it scraping the car, and it was just like that horrible noise. I was like, "Oh my god, are you sure there's a track?" And he's like, "Yeah, look at the dot. We're on a track." I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
But that's just
we tried to get
trust,
off road
isn't
as
it?
much as we could. And,
Yeah, and could, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's probably been one of the highlights of this trip? And I know it was hanging out with me and
Yes, meeting Melissa.
I have to just say I'm so grateful to these guys. You don't understand like the first night that we were there, I didn't know that my tyre was going down slowly. But well, I woke up the next morning and it was half flat, and you and Daniel from the MDC Owners group, and then I think Jack as well came over at the end from the MDC team. But you were right in there amongst it all, immediately fixing it, and it wasn't easy. It was you plugged it up, which was great, but it wasn't just a quick plug up. And I was watching that, and I just sort of thought to myself, I'm going to take Mandy up on that offer. I think the universe was talking to me through a flat
I think
tyre.
it was just your good luck that we were heading in the same direction.
It was extraordinary because it was a week out, so it kind of worked for me and didn't work for me, and I just I'm changing my plans. This is important that I'm with you guys. So, yeah. So I digress. What were your highlights?
The main reason we did this trip is because Mandy's auntie and uncle wanted to do it, and they approached us to do it with them. And to me, being able to get them up there, because it wasn't easy for them, and
there's no way they could have done it on their own.
Yeah, they have a really big, a larger caravan,
so
which is a little bit
getting them
more
up there and actually seeing their appreciation, because what we see of this country. So, and they've travelled all around the world and seen a lot of the best places.
They have.
So, and for them to still really sit back and go, "Wow, how good is this?"
Yeah. Well, Gail shared with us, this is one of her bucket list things to do. She has seen nearly every bizarre spot on the planet and hadn't been to Cape York, and she was so grateful.
And I think it was on her list, since she was 7 or 8, she said. Yeah, and she's finally done it now.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But yeah,
what's your personal highlight?
Look, walking out, like I said last night, walking out to the tip, it was the second time, but it still had great meaning, and I still had that.
It's quite incredible.
Like I said to people the first time, it was a very sort of spiritual feeling when you stand out there, and still get the same feeling this time. So
all that hard work, standing at the very tip of the Australian continent, it just sort of makes you feel very small, I suppose. Makes you feel like a little dot. Yeah.
Yeah, puts life back into perspective.
It sure does.
Yeah.
It really does.
So for me, it was honestly, because I said what I said last night. I said, I was talking about the locations, like Twin Falls and what was the name of the little falls around there with the
Twin Falls and then
Elliot, where I jumped in.
Yeah, that was just amazing. But actually, I thought about it later. It's actually the people I've met and the people I've hung out with in relationships. We've met beautiful people along the way and heard stories and got to talk to them. And just for me, it's meeting some of the people that work in these, particularly up at the tip, up there, and what makes them tick.
Yeah.
So for me, this whole trip has been a bit of a spiritual awakening.
Numbers and
all the signs, but the challenge of doing this and such a long backstory, which I'll say for another video, but basically about hanging around and waiting for somebody to do this with, which didn't happen. or actually just making it happen and doing it on my own. I got a bit emotional this morning when I was thinking about it. I'm not on my own. I'm never on my own because I have friends who'll do it with you, I met these guys. The crazy thing is I met these guys through the MDC Owners group, and I know that you guys have made a lot of friendships through that group already in the past. Like it's
we're going now after we leave here. We're heading to other friends that are just out of Mariba.
We met them in
2019.
At our first bash.
In the Birdsville paddock.
MDC paddock.
He's always said about, if you come up, we'll take you out to old dry dusty Dora, so that's where we're going. We're going to spend 4 days out there with them.
Yeah, can't wait to explore their property. It's been in her family for years, so there's a lot of history there, and looking forward to that. And they're so much fun. They're fun people to hang around, being Chris.
I know. So that's probably my big take home from this trip, which I kind of thought it would be, but it's confirmed it, is that it doesn't matter if you're solo, if you're in a couple. You could be in a couple and your partner just doesn't want to do the trip. That can happen. And you can bring a friend, you can bring a family member, you can do it on your own, but you can always make friends along the way. You just got to stay open, incredibly open, and the generosity, like you guys, your generosity to bring me along, and Gail and John's generosity to say yes, she can come.
Because it wasn't really our trip, was we were touring them up there. So
it was a shared trip, so you had to ask.
Yeah, but Melissa's just fit in perfectly.
Well, as much as I can. I know. I was on my best behaviour.
Yeah, we haven't seen the real her.
I can be overwhelming, I've been told. No, you've seen the real me. What's one thing you want to go out with? Just we'll sign off now. Something that you'd love to share.
Just have the confidence to get out there and do it. If you want to go do something, you want to go see something, don't worry about what you've got, what you're in, what your setup is. Just go and do it. Don't wait. Just do it now. Start planning now.
And you don't need all the bells and whistles.
No, you don't.
Because they just fall off.
Yeah.
Well, you proved it. You drove a stock standard
LDV Chinese ute
to Punsen Bay, towing the car.
And it was a legend. And that wasn't just, like, that was Birdsville, Baduri, Mount Isa,
stock
Karumba.
tyres, road tyres.
And I'm not the most skillful chick on the planet, and I did it.
She did.
Yeah.
So, just go with what you got, what you know, and just do it.
Get out there and see Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, my thing is just be super open and say yes to opportunities. Say yes. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
So I wanted to introduce you guys to Daniel Easton, who runs the MDC Owners group, and maybe just talk a little bit about the group and what it means to you, and why when you put it together, and why you put it together, and how you run it. In that order.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't actually start the group. It started, I can't even remember what year, but quite some time ago. I think I was about number 2 or something in the group, and years went on.
How long ago was that, when it was initially started?
It was back in 2013.
And who started it?
Maybe, I can't even remember.
That's so funny.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, so it's just an owners group for people that own MDC. Would have been more camper trailers back then.
Yeah, well, we had a camper trailer back then, so, and I think, from memory.
Jesus, and now look what you've got. This big, beautiful beast. That's progressing. That's coming up,
Yeah, so, basically it progressed, and then the admin at the time approached me, and they were selling their van, and if I wanted to take over the group. So since then, I think we went from about 3,000 members to we're just about to tick over 20,000 now.
That's huge. And you're the admin on the group?
Yeah, myself, Lydia, and Sarah, who Sarah, and so we sort of look
monitor that.
Monitor it,
and why do you do it? Because you don't get it. Let's be clear, you don't get paid to do this. This is out of the goodness of your heart.
I've got a full-time job. It's got nothing to do with caravans or camping or anything to do with that. So,
and you have no big aspirations to, take over the camping industry.
So, no, not the current state, but it's just something that I enjoy doing, and to give a platform for inspire people to get out and use it, as well as help people. I mean, there's more people in the owners group that actually own them that can help you than are actually employed by MDC. So
easily 20,000
if you want
members.
someone in the middle of the night, chances are that there will be someone there that can answer your question. And then the other part is events, like we're just on the Big Red Bash. So the Big Red Bash I started, well, my first one 2018. We didn't have an organised group as such, but there was a group of us that we got T-shirts made and didn't camp together, but knew where each other was and went around and did chats and bits and pieces. And then 2019 got larger with MDC jumping on board with the sponsorship of the event, and then through whichever changes and bits and pieces, I think 2020 was cancelled, and I continued to do the MDC paddock. So this year in our 5th year, and our first year as official fundraisers for the Royal Flying Doctors. It was huge. We had some massive prizes for raffles and other bits organised there. So I know we've demolished last year's tally.
Of what we raised for the Royal Flying Doctors.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what we get this year.
What do you reckon? It's going to be close to...
I'm going to take a guess of somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I could be way out, but that's my guess. And
considering the expense it is for people just to even come out here, like it's not cheap to travel out to Birdsville or to buy your Big Red Bash ticket, and then you're inspiring people to keep putting their hand in their pockets and raising more money from the MDC Owners group.
Yeah. So no, I think it's been recognised by the organisers of the Big Red Bash, and I speak to them now and then when I have to, sort of thing, and
which is regularly.
Give them a big thank you afterwards, and get a response immediately. And no, it's good to have that relationship with them, and the work that we do. That we bring people together. We're able to provide this year we were very lucky up at the front row.
I know, it was an awesome sight.
And a communal area where like-minded people can come and have a chat, relax, and then people form their own groups and start travelling together. There's some very good people in this group here that, and you're always going to find someone that you can connect with.
And so for people travelling as couples or families, or to just know that you've got a bigger, wider group and community, you can join in if you don't have to if you don't want to, or you can if you want to.
We had people, I think there was a couple of MDCs that came past us when we were lined up at the start of the Big Red Bash there that came past. They weren't within our group, but they came past, recognised my vehicle, and they're screaming out, yelling out, "How you going, mate?"
Well, everyone saw us rolling into the bash. Like, I was meeting people in lineups there, and we got chatting, and they're like, "Who are you with?" I said, "I'm with the MDC group." They go, "Oh my God, we saw you guys come in." Like, it's becoming a thing. And you should be so proud.
No, I'm proud, and I thank everybody that was helped organise and was involved in this. So it's not just myself. So
I know, but every group needs a figurehead, and you're kind of it. Well, I just want to say thank you to you for creating such an amazing group. That it is. I'll say it again. It's not something that you're paid to do, and I think that's what makes it so passionate. That's your passion, obviously, bringing people together and connecting people.
Yeah, surprisingly, I don't like people. I like to sort of be individual and have my own space. But for this one event, I like to try and get everybody together and get maximum benefit out of it for everybody involved, as well as the charities.
Because actually, that is true. You don't put yourself in the limelight. You don't show off. You don't jump around and everyone look at me. Like, you really are. You just create this for people. Yeah. I get that. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Not a problem.
It was awesome. Thank you, Lydia. She's awesome. Awesome. Thanks. We really hope you enjoy listening in. Be sure to follow MDC on all of our socials. And if you want to like and share and visit the MDC website to find more of our upcoming episodes, we'd really love that. See you off grid, and happy caravanning.